marker.
There's the first marker.
Hello, prickles. Every piece of land has its own personality. We definitely weren't in this part before. It's a nice big tree.
Yeah.
I had a clearing over this is pretty.
So these bushes actually are what protect you from the other property.
Yeah. What are those? Is that evergreen? No, those are weed trees. A little water under the tree.
Wet here.
Yep, I see it. This big guy.
Yes, he is.
There's definitely road noise or some kind of noise, but I mean, there's really not many places you can go where you won't hear that. Anyway, it's like it's a pine forest, but a lot of ferns, crisscrossed with deer trails. Some big trees. Pretty wild land. Doesn't look like a lot's been going on up here. That's what makes it pretty. So this is now much closer to home. This is a larger piece, and it's quite nice. There's a bunch of music from a nearby camp, which technically is supposed to be seasonal, but who knows. It's a larger piece, a lot closer to home, which means it's more expensive, but not in terms of a per acre price.
There's the house.
Yeah, okay, so there's a house right there.
There's this house.
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
Oop. Yeah,
Okay.
gotcha. Unfortunately, there's a dump in the middle of it, looks like. It's mostly really pretty, but there's this pile of like glass and metal.
That's 60 years old.
Yeah, he's probably right, it's probably 60 years old, but it's not fun to look at or deal with. And I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. It's pretty.
Yeah. Oh, those trees you're standing under are all widowmakers.
Oh, f me.
Okay? So.
This is crazy looking, wow. Your poop. Cabin? That's what I saw before. Is that on the land?
Cabin.
Are you sure that's on the land?
It's not on our land.
Okay. The music is really annoying that it's this big a piece of land, but you can hear that.
Well, that is the loudest loudspeaker I've ever heard.
Not moving now, but might possibly be moving in the winter or spring.
So we're still at the very top of the property. You want to head down the middle now?
Sure.
Okay. Huh?
I've been getting massacred by mosquitoes. This explains it, right?
Heat on you?
Yeah. Well, my face doesn't. I didn't put DEET on my face. Okay. So we got the neighbor's riding mower or tractor. Wearing a hat. I always forget not to wear a hat. Watch the castle of the branches and The edge of what? Awesome. Good detective work. Yeah, don't walk through those.
You can make needles out of these.
Sweet. Thorn bushes are nesting. Well, we saw that and you heard that water rushing goes down the hill here. So pleasant is awful. I mean, it's damp. It's not wet, but it's damp. There's a bunch of widowmakers here. Yeah, thorns here. Step on them carefully. That was gonna hurt.
Right? You remember when you're lower down, you don't hear anything. When you're up high, you hear stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
So look down here.
It's great here. So. Pretty down here.
Yep.
What? Do I hear water? Around here, I don't know if there's anything to see.
Wow, look at this in here. Look at it.
Holy crap. You've got like it's like a mountaintop or something here.
Wow. This looks like the red.
It's like great gorge.
So your property line is somewhere down there on the hill.
Okay, it looks like we're stuck here. Like we have to go back to the beginning. You want, wild land, unused land, like that's what you're on. If no one's coming here, no one's been here. And there is zero road noise. You got some mushrooms.
And you have, your land then goes over up there under the other side of the
sexy,
ravine.
isn't it?
It is. This area, so we should walk back on the other side.
Oh, we can get down and back up.
No, but we can't get across the ravine.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, it ends here and it's a pointy cliff. We could make it down here, but we couldn't make it back up that side. Now we could follow the stream. You can go down and follow the stream because look, you're still not to the wide spot.
This is a neat spot. I mean, it's just kind of neat here.
This is where you put your tree house. Anyway, come here and check it out.
This is where I meditate. I just sit on this. This is gonna be my meditation spot. I'm just gonna come out here on this little precipice here. Watch out! Don't push me.
Well, you want to follow the stream bed
I'll
down?
just like sit here and meditate right at the tip of this little.
Here's where you are. You're not even close.
That's nuts. We're not even in the big
prop.
spot yet. We're not even in the bigger area.
Here's where you are.
Now you can hear the water again. This is where you fall and you break a leg or you crack your head open.
I went down backwards and held on to trees. You guys just slid.
What do you think? What?
The property goes back up there. And here's where your property ends.
It's possible that this is a blueberry. This actually looks like a small wild blueberry. I could be wrong. And these, no, they have 4 leaves. These are 3 leaves. This could be a berry. This could be a raspberry or something. It's possible, but I have to look them up.
This birch is leaning out over the road.
And what's that? That's an oak next to it,
Yeah.
right?
But see all these trees back in here that are deadfall?
Mm-hmm.
You come in and you fell a tree, you wrap it, and you winch it up here, you buck it, and then you bring it up. Look at those pines. Those are monsters. Oh, look, you can see them from here.
Well, they've got to be 100 years old or something close to them, 75.
Yep.
Yep, you can see the top of them right here.
Yep.
Right above us.
Uh-huh. Look at this. This is another pine here to the right. This big one.
Yeah.
So, again, about a football field that way is all your property.
This guy's pretty big too. This guy.
That was the one I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, about 100 yards that way. Everything's yours.
It's a nice buffer for the road and from the road, for this road and from that road.
Yep.
It's just that we end up the nice spot we found. You end up in your upper corner and you just hope nobody's gonna mess around way up there.
Look at those pines. Those are monsters.
All right, so let's talk about these properties.
Okay, well, so we haven't looked in a long time. This was like a big deal to start looking again.
Yeah, we looked at a lot of places.
We looked at a lot of places. So the first one that we really liked was the Pines, and it was a little thin and it was long. It had big trees, it had dappled sunlight, it had really nice big old trees.
So if you look at it
and
here,
it had a little seasonal stream. I know you go seasonal, but it's still a stream, it's still
but if you
water.
look at it, had the wetlands in the front of it there.
Yeah, and then it slopes up and
it was
just
nice.
goes straight back. And it was really pretty.
But it was
then
skinny.
it was skinny. That's the problem, is that you're always worried about being flanked on either side. Wherever you are, you could be looking at somebody's something or other.
Yeah.
And then we went back to that one.
And then we saw.
And we saw that the neighbors had encroached there, and that's a big chunk
and
that they've actually taken over.
I actually think that there's some of their buildings are on the land.
Yeah, it looks like they're across the property line, and that's a real problem.
That makes me scared, and so I don't know.
Yeah, so that was off the list.
Yeah.
And we got really close. We were like, ooh, we'd seen 3 or 4 pieces of land before that, maybe 5 or 6 that we'd start when we started looking at.
But that was the first one we got excited about.
And that was the first one we got excited about. And then we went back, thank goodness. It was a long drive, but we went back and realized we didn't want to get into a land war with the neighbors.
Yeah.
And that's also probably why it was priced low.
Priced low.
So next.
So next one we looked at was
the ravines.
the gullies.
Yeah, but that one to me was magical, but really, really difficult to actually do anything with.
Well, so yeah.
That was 40 acres, which was really sexy.
But if you look at this one, the only place you could build anything on was this piece that's right off the road.
Right off the road.
Because otherwise you would have had to put
I love that because
huge bridges.
You took a road to a dirt road that was plowed, to another dirt road that wasn't plowed, and then had 40 acres.
Yeah.
It was a big piece.
Good
So only the
build.
front part and the whole back part is really rugged. So you had to go down the ravines and up the ravines. And if you had a lot of money, what I would have done was I would have put something perched on that first precipice, and then put those, in the parks, like at Disney World and everything, they have those
Suspension
those little
bridges.
suspension, and you could just, it would have been amazing. You could have suspension bridges across all those 100-foot deep gullies.
Remember also in the back here, all along this property, that guy had forested this whole area.
You didn't see it though,
Well,
really.
again, if you could have made it up onto this part of the land somehow, that was the only flat part of the land at all.
Yeah, it was getting anything onto that, you would have been doing everything by hand, and
it would have been
a night. No,
crossing the surface of Mars.
yeah, basically. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It was really sexy, but really impossible to work with.
No.
So.
And so that was a
That
no.
was a no, unfortunately. I wanted it. You talked sense into me.
I
was like,
immediately
I wanted it.
was
So
like,
cool.
yeah.
Well, it was really rugged. It was like it being in another country, actually.
So the next one that we looked at that we really liked was the can't get there from here piece of land. That was the 22 acres up on a mountaintop.
Oh yeah, and we didn't show that one. I think that was too traumatic for us.
Yeah, it was pretty
Because
traumatic.
we almost got it, and the people lied to us and told us we had access, but we didn't actually have access. And it's good that we found out about it because they were trying to sell it to us without access.
Yeah, but it was 22 acres, and it was
22
beautiful
acres.
trees, and it was on
It was
top of
rock
a mountain.
outcroppings. It was a mountaintop, and it was really
It was
hot.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it was about 3 hours. It's about 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it was 22 acres.
Well, we fell in love with it. That was the one we fell in love with.
pretty, and that's the one we had my brother take a look at for us to see if
Yeah.
it was possible, and he kind
Yep.
of,
Well, and the one, yeah, and that's because we checked the road that they said we could access, and we had to go and do our own due diligence and find out names of neighbors and people who own
and tax maps.
And then
You got the guy on the phone,
I got the guy on the phone,
and he was not happy.
and he was not happy. I said, so the people who are selling this land say that this is an access, and he flipped out. He was like, he was not having it. So we had to call the realtors who were selling it and say, there's no access to this land. And they did their little backtracking thing, and it was, yeah. So you really have to be careful. People will sell you things that are not real, so.
And
So that sucked,
and then
because we really fell in love with them.
and then we
I was-
decided that we were done.
Well, then we went to the 18 acres fell in our lap. The one
And
that we called the Blair Witch.
Right, and
The one with the camp near it.
oh
and
my
that,
God.
You forgot about that one.
I blocked it out of my memory. That was a pretty piece.
Well, that was closer, and it was really nice.
And it was
It
big.
was closer, and it was big. But you could hear music anywhere
No, we
you
were
on it.
standing on the road with the realtor, and you heard,
Will all campers please report to the main office, please?
and I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Oh, that's the
by the way."
camp.
Yeah.
By the way,
And it was really loud. And it was too bad because you were standing in the middle of this beautiful piece of land. It was 18 acres. It was only a few hours from home. It's like an hour closer than anything else we looked at. And it had big trees, and it was nice. I mean, it was a little flat. I like a little rugged land, but it was a little flat. Most people want
but
flat. I
it
don't like
was
flat.
just nonstop.
It was nonstop noise.
Loudspeaker.
And there, she's like, well, it's only seasonal. It's only, so I'm thinking, okay, so it's 2 months out of the year, like during the summer. when
2 or 3 months when we want to be
when you
here.
want to be here, yeah.
Yeah. So that
And it was loud.
That one.
So unfortunately,
Yeah.
that was
I blocked that.
That
one
was
out.
a no.
I
You
blocked
blocked it out.
that one out of my memory.
You know, surrounded, and you'd hear like,
And you'd hear,
ring around
you'd hear-
the rosy,
you'd hear-
a pocket full of
literally,
rosy.
you heard that like little girl, and she was like,
And it was like,
It was
we're like,
horrible.
they're coming for us.
it was horrible.
So that didn't work out.
And so then
we
you know,
stopped,
on the
and
way
we stopped
on the way up to Canada.
And
to
we
check out
almost
the
didn't
piece.
make it. We were like, if we make good time, we'll go see it. Otherwise, forget it. We're kind of done for now.
But I had planned, and I lied to you about what time we needed to leave, so that we would have time. So we would have time to see it.
Whatever.
And then and we went and looked at that piece
And that had a view which none of the other places had views.
and a
My-
driveway.
Yeah, and a driveway that probably, yeah, I mean, it's
Driveway may be a loose term, but it
It's-
was by far the best
road access to the top of a hill, but it would probably be dangerous under certain situations. So you'd have to have a 4-wheel drive or a
ATV,
quad or
something.
ATV, something like that, to get up there some of the time. But it was a viable road. We did make it up there in a regular car,
Yeah. Wow.
which is more than you could
Yeah.
say for the other piece of land.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
And it had a view, and it was really nice.
Views
My
were nice.
my only concern was that the one place, the clearing where we wanted to put stuff, would be a little bit close to the other people's lands, but it's the back of everybody's land, so there's always something. There's always, there's road noise, or there's someone, you know, camped out, built really close to the border, or it's really wet, or the trees are really skinny.
So we're gonna do this.
Well, I think we're gonna go look at it again, clearly. I mean, I loved it, you loved it, but we were in a rush, so we didn't look at it as carefully as we needed to. I think there's more to see, but it keeps coming back to me that that was the strongest piece. I mean, it checked off more of our boxes than anything else did.
Well, every other time we've looked at something twice, we haven't liked it as much the second
time. So we need to look at it again, because we liked the configuration of the land, we liked the acreage, we liked the location. It had mixed hardwoods, so we know those things. So it checked a lot of the boxes that the other pieces of land didn't check. So it's hard because we have to decide if we're going to keep looking. We like looking. It's kind of fun, and once you do that, then the looking is over. But I think we should see it again, and I think we should do it soon because I think it'll get snatched up. Want to make a phone call?
Let's go look at it.
Okay. Let's go. Let's make a phone call. Let's go look. And there's a mixture of hardwood and pine, which we like. It smells good.
These are all logging roads.
And I don't think we're going to get road noise here.
Nope.
Which is really nice.
Well, that's not a very busy road down there anyway.
But it's a town-maintained road, which is awesome.
All shale.
Yeah, we've got rock to build with. We could collect rock here. Look at this. I wonder if this gets wet during the rainy season.
Yeah, you can tell that water
Yeah.
comes through here.
Well, that's why all the shale is
Exposed.
exposed because of the rain.
Deer stand. Somebody hunts up here.
Somebody's hunting up here. So if you wanted to, like look right here.
Yep.
If you
Oh,
wanted to.
look at this view.
Yep.
I can see it from here.
So you put your barns, your cattle there, your deer way down there, right? And then this is where you put your oh, that video. Wow.
Look
Look.
at that view.
Okay, what do you think? Did we find it?
This is a nice piece. Is this Alice's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Thank you, Alice.
Hi. We just took a look at the land, and I think we like it enough to put an offer down.
Wait, no, clap. Go.
Sorry. Are you okay?
Jesus.